It's the 90s, and Samuel L. Jackson is rocking a typical Asian mustache. He is in Vietnam. Let's see how long it takes him to say, "Mẹ kiếp." Look it up.
What? English, mother...
He walks into a dark room with his guns ready to kill, but the job is already done. By whom? This boy. Bodies lie around dead as if it's a Travis Scott concert. Samuel is amazed. The kid is badass. He gets the cash lying around, but there's someone more valuable. Someone who just killed his targets. He takes the kid with him. Generally, you'd call this child trafficking, but I think the boy's cool with it. It's 2021 now, somewhere in Romania. A crime boss gets a call. His son has been kidnapped. The man is kind of confused. He does the kidnapping, not the other way around. The kidnappers want $3 million in cash. A car comes to pick up the cash. It's driven by a girl. Turns out, the little boy from earlier was a girl. They search her for weapons and take her to their boss, Don Preda, the butcher of Bucharest, killer of men. This guy should have been in Game of Thrones. The dude is fat like every other crime boss, but there's a bit of an issue. He is dumb too. The girl wasn't there to get the money. She was there to kill him. The girl is like a kung fu machine, and it takes her less than a minute to kill everyone around her and walk away. Wait, take the money. I guess it's a thing of morality. She meets up with Samuel, tells him the job is done, and drives away with him. Samuel calls up the people who ordered the hit, and they got $7 million transferred to their bank. These two live simpler lives in their hometown. A small apartment, a bookstore job, and a pet cat. It doesn't get any simpler for the girl, Anna. Samuel is another story. I mean, just look at his house. Anna visits him for his birthday, and it's almost like he hasn't gained a single year. He's playing with a drone for Christ's sake. Anna might be living a modest life, but her gift is in no way modest. A 1958 Gibson Flying V. There's only 90 of these in the world. Samuel is happy, but it's kind of sad that he's dying. Don't worry, he probably deserves it.
Go on!
Not Samuel L. Jackson, the character he plays in the movie. Samuel has one more job for Anna. With his extravagant life, $7 million lasts about a month, I assume. He takes her to his secret lair and tells her he bought her the bookstore she works in. It's hers now. But that's not what they were there for. He needs her to find...
Just find?
A guy named Lucas Hayes. He's been kind of lost since 1998. This job is personal. Anna agrees to work, but ain't no way she's going back to Vietnam. Something tells me she'll be going to Vietnam. Anna goes to a laundry to get her dress cleaned. Surprise, surprise, it's actually a hacking zone run by her accomplice, Benny. Benny can get the job done in no time. If he stops grooming his non-existent mustache. At the bookstore, Batman walks in.
I'm Batman.
I'm a 90s kid. Sue me. He wants to buy a first edition book. It's a gift for his boss's wife. That's sus. Anna hands him what he needs. Almost. How much?
I can give it to you for $265,000.
Bye. Batman is no longer interested in buying books. Looks like he lost most of his money in a bad NFT. He is, however, interested in Anna and gives her his card and his name. Michael Rembrandt. The next day, Benny had his job finished. Lucas Hayes is actually a child. This almost put him off, but Benny had done the impossible and gathered all the info about this guy. Looks like the only thing he can't do is grow a mustache. Jokes aside, something is off. Anna can feel it. She quickly rushes to Samuel's house, and the door is wide open. The calm is almost unnatural. Some guys had entered the house, shot Samuel's wife, and blasted the guy to death. He lay there in the bathtub, all bloody and dead. Anna watches this, but doesn't have the strength to look at the face. That's sort of stupid. Isn't she supposed to be a world-class assassin? Samuel's database drive, however, is safe. Anna rushes to Benny. The store is still open, but as usual, something is off. A thick smoke was leaving the store's vent. Benny had been ironed to his death. That was brutal. Anna does the one thing she shouldn't have. She goes to her store. Immediately, some guy starts shooting at her. Anna manages to get her money and 8 passports out before the barrage begins. She kills the guys who are after her and leaves just before the cops arrive. In an internet cafe the next day, Anna checks out the details of the job and the data collected by Benny. The boy appears to be last spotted in a hospital in Vietnam. He is the son of a famous businessman, Edward Hayes, who was assassinated around 30 years ago. His company was now being run by his friend, Josino Vole. Her fate had led her back to Vietnam. She gets to work as soon as she reaches Vietnam and rides right through a group of ZZ Top fans. The riders are being led by a white man. It's almost as if the US didn't lose the Vietnam War. The riders follow her back. Don't worry, they are friends. The leader, Billy Boy, instantly recognizes her. She wants his help to get her into Vol's office. Billy Boy can arrange that. They stop his car in the middle of the road, and Anna casually enters. She gives him his card and a slight death threat and leaves. Naturally, Josino gives her a call. He calls her to his office. Anna goes to his office as requested, where she had already placed a box of cigars. She'll get to that later. Vol greets her alongside his attorney, Duquette. Before Vol can reveal anything of any importance, the attorney kills him. Plot twist, he's a bad guy. Duquette starts questioning her now.
Who hired you?
That's too many questions for the lady boss, who opens the cigar box, slashes his face with a cigar knife, and shoots the guards. She escapes the building through a vent. It's a shocking experience for the goons, literally. It doesn't quite work out for Anna in the end. Talk about rash driving. Anna wakes up inside the 50 Shades of Grey dungeon. Duquette and his goons start torturing her for info. She doesn't budge. They even force her to do the ice bucket challenge. Wonder who Anna nominates next. The bad guys aren't strong enough to break Anna, so they call in for help. It's Batman. He's one of the bad guys. Must be from a different universe. He is a bit calmer with the girl and suggests she give up because she ain't leaving. Batman's got a point. He gives the girl some soup to drink and goes out and orders the guys to not try and kill her. You guessed it, they try to kill her that night. It's safe to say, good guys beat bad guys, no matter the odds. The serious lack of desire to follow instructions is just astounding. When Batman arrives the next day, Anna is gone. He warns Duquette she's coming for him. The guy doesn't like his tone. He's definitely planning something. Anna immediately visits the hospital that Lucas Hayes was last seen in to check for any records that may lead to him. Turns out Lucas never left the hospital. The nun shows her to Lucas, who is deaf, blind, and dumb. Sheesh. Something tells me Lucas has nothing to do with all this. Unless he is the daredevil. Anna returns disappointed and receives a call from Michael. He can't believe she didn't call him when he had given her his card, and honestly, neither can I. Who would reject Batman? Who would be badass enough to do that? Anna is that badass. Michael asks her to meet him again, but Anna decides the location and time. Michael's boss, the one who is pulling the strings behind everything, is worried that Michael is getting strayed from his purpose. Michael assures him the work will be done. I doubt that. The boss wants it finished before the party. He's throwing a fundraiser, the kind that evil rich people throw to make everyone believe they are good people. Michael arrives at his date on time, where Anna is waiting for him. She tells him that she just wants to kill the guys who killed her friend. The topic could have been a bit more casual if the two didn't have guns pointed at each other's crotch. Michael is surprisingly calm, but he tells her the same thing he told her earlier. She can't escape unless she gives up on her plans. Duquette, on the other hand, is hard at work. He found Anna's apartment and also planned to hit on Michael at once. As soon as his date is over, Michael is attacked by a bunch of guys and even a girl, but he has no trouble killing all of them one by one. The guy doesn't even need a gun. Elsewhere, Anna had actually managed to trap Duquette, and now we know who she nominated for the ice bucket challenge. Michael arrives at her apartment only to find bodies scattered around. He casually walks into the apartment and is almost immediately attacked by Anna with a shotgun. The two battle it out, and music starts playing. I bet you can't guess what happens next. That was stupid. Anna and Michael part ways, each intent on their own tasks. Something tells me this is a one-time thing. As Anna arrives at her hideout, she gets shot by one of Duquette's goons who had survived, but she is saved before he can kill her by none other than Samuel L. Jackson.
Did you really think they could kill me that easily?
He had managed to kill his so-called killer and dressed him up such that the body would look like him to the police. Anna had found the body before the police and had gone on a mad hunt pursuing the baddest guys in the world. But all is good since Samuel would have done the same thing. They plan to crash the fundraiser being thrown by Michael's boss to kill him. Anna dresses up as a waitress and plays the part. The security is very, very tight. The guy had hired people who had previously protected the Queen of England and some other mafia people. Despite all of this, Anna manages to sneak in a gun. Something tells me these guys are ripping off Michael's boss. As the boss delivers the usual rich but good speech, Anna takes aim. Out of the corner of his eye, Michael notices this and stops her in time. Michael chases her around as chaos ensues in the room. His boss is escorted to his underground safe house by the guards. Michael knows that once Anna is dead, this whole ordeal is over, so he follows her instead. How wrong could he be on a scale from 1 to 10? 11. Samuel barges into the safe house while Michael is distracted with Anna. He kills all the guards and confronts the boss. He instantly recognizes him as Edward Hayes. Edward had hired him years ago to assassinate himself. That was all a ruse so that he could pretend to be dead in front of a whole world and do some major league illegal stuff under a different alias. He was trying to amend all those loose ends, which is why the attack. Edward tells him that no matter what he does, there's no way he can get out of the facility alive. Samuel has never had any plans to do so. He takes from his pocket a remote and blasts the whole facility to the ground. Outside, the impact is felt even by Michael and Anna, and before he knows it, Anna is gone. She gives him a piece of paper with some coordinates on them. Despite it being an obvious trap, Michael heads to the place. How much of a simp can you be? He meets up with Anna, who tells him that one of them must die if the other is to live with peace, since both of them are loose ends. Guns are pointed, shots are fired. Anna walks out of the building.